cross, a steeple, a rope, a totem pole, a pillar, or a spire. Its proximity to heaven may carry implications that are chiefly religious: pagoda, temple, mount, minaret, church, or secular, the obelisk, a lighthouse, a rocket, skyscraper. The image appears in religious and secular contexts. The Axis Mundi symbol may be found in cultures utilizing shamanic practices or animistic belief systems, in major world religions, and in technologically advanced urban centers. In Mircea Eliade's opinion, every microcosm, every inhabited region has a center, that is to say, a place that is sacred above all. Specific examples of cosmic mountains or centers include one from Egyptian text described as providing support for the sky, Mount Mashu from the Epic of Gilgamesh, Adam's Peak, which is a sacred mountain in Sri Lanka associated with Adam or Buddha in Islamic and Buddhist tradition, respectively. Mount Qaf in other Islamic and Arabic cosmologies. The mountain Hara Berez in Zoroastrian cosmology. Mount Meru in Hindu, Jain, and Buddhist cosmologies. Mecca as a cosmic center in Sufi cosmology, with minority traditions placing it as Medina or Jerusalem. And in Tenriko, the Jaba at the Tenriko Church headquarters in Tenri, Nara, Japan. In pre-Islamic Arabia, some central temples include the Temple of Awam, where some central temples, including the Temple of Awam, were cosmic centers. There are multiple interpretations about the origin of the concept of the Axis Mundi. In psychological and sociological interpretation, suggests that the symbol originates in a natural and universal psychological perception, i.e., that the particular spot that one occupies stands at the center of the world. This space serves as a microcosm in order because it is known and settled. Outside the boundaries of the microcosm lies foreign realms that, because they are unfamiliar or not ordered, represents chaos, death, or night. From the center, one may still venture in any of the four cardinal directions, make discoveries, and establish new centers as new realms become known and settled. The name of China, meaning middle nation, is often interpreted as an expression of the ancient perception of the Chinese polity, or group of polities, occupied the center of the world, with other lands lying in various directions relative to it. A second interpretation suggests that ancient symbols such as the Axis Mundi lie in a particular philosophical or metaphysical representation of a common and culturally shared philosophical concept, which is that of a natural reflection of the microcosm, or existence at grand scale. In the microcosm, which consists of either an individual community an individual, a community, or local environment that shares the same principles and structures as the microcosm. In this metaphysical representation of the universe, mankind is placed into an existence that serves as a microcosm of the universe, or the entire cosmos existence, and who, in order to achieve higher states of existence or liberation into the microcosm, must gain necessary insights into universal principles that can be represented by his life or environment in the microcosm. In many religious and philosophical traditions around the world, mankind is seen as a sort of bridge between either two worlds, the earth and the heaven, as in Hindi and Taoism, philosophical and theosophical systems, or three worlds, namely the earth, heavenly, and the subearthly or infra-earthly, e.g. the underworld, as in the ancient Greek, Incan, Mayan, and ancient Egyptian religious systems. Spanning these philosophical systems is the belief that man traverses a sort of axis or path which can lead from man's current central position in the intermediate realms of heaven or sub-earthly realms. Thus, in this view, symbolic representations of a vertical axis represents a path of ascent or descent into other spiritual or material realms, and often capture a philosophy that considers human life to be a quest in which one develops insight or perfection in order to move beyond the current microcosm realm and to engage with the grand microcosmic order. In other interpretations, an axis mundi is more broadly defined as a place of connection between heavenly and the earthly realms, often a mountain or other elevated site. Tall mountains were often regarded as sacred, and some have shrines erected at the summit or base. Mount Kunlun or Kunlun fills a similar role in China. Mount Kailash is holy to Hinduism and several religions in Tibet. The Pitjantjara people in Central Australia consider Uluru to be central in both their world and culture. The Titi volcano was for the Canarian Aborigines, that's the Ganges, a kind of axis mundi. In ancient Mesopotamia, the cultures of ancient Sumer and Babylon built tall platforms or ziggurats to elevate temples on the flat river plain. Hindu temples in India are often situated on high mountains, e.g. Amarnath, Tirupati, and Vishnu Devi, and then etc. The pre-Columbian residents of Teotihuacan in Mexico erected huge pyramids featuring staircases leading to heaven. These Amerindian temples were often placed on top of caves or subterranean springs, which were thought to be openings to the underworld. Jacob's ladder is an axis mundi image, as is the Temple Mount. For Christians, the cross on Mount Calvary expresses this symbol. The Middle Kingdom, China, had a central mountain, Kunlun, known as Taoist, literature, no, known in Taoist literature as the mountain at the middle of the world. To go into the mountains meant to dedicate oneself to spiritual life. As the abstract concept of Axis Mundi is present in many cultural traditions, the religious belief, it can be thought to exist in any number of locales at once. Mount Hermon was regarded as the Axis Mundi in Canaanite tradition, from where the sons of God are introduced, descending in 1 Enoch 6:6. The ancient Armenians had a number of holy sites, the most important of which was Mount Ararat, which was thought to be the home of the gods as well as the center of the universe. Now, Mount Ararat is also where the Christian Bible hints that Noah's Ark landed, by the way. And that's just so I can point that out. That's not what I'm reading. So, likewise, the ancient Greeks regarded several sites as a place of earth. Omphalos, the navel stone, notably the Oracle of Delphi, while still maintaining a belief in a cosmic world tree, and in Mount Olympus as the abode of the gods. Judaism has the Temple Mount. Christianity has the Mount of Olives, or Mount Olives, and Calvary. And Islam has the Kaaba, said to be the first building on earth, as well as the Temple Mount, Dome of the Rock. In Hinduism and Mount Kailash, in Hinduism, Mount Kailash is identified with the mythical Mount Meru and regarded as the home of Shiva. In Vajrayana Buddhism, Mount Kailash is recognized as a similarly sacred place. In Shinto, the Ise shrine is the Omphalos. Sacred places can constitute world centers, with an altar or place of prayer at the axis. Altars, incense sticks, candles, and torches from the axis by sending a column of smoke and prayer toward heaven. It has been suggested by Romanian religious historian Mircea Eliade that architecture of sacred places often reflects this role. Every temple or place, and by extension every sacred city or royal residence, is a sacred mountain, thus becoming a center. Pagoda structures in Asian temples take the form of a stairway linking earth and heaven. A steeple in a church or a minaret in a mosque also serves as connections to earth and heaven. Structures such as the maypole, derived from the Saxon Irminsul, and the totem pole among indigenous people of the Americas also represents world axis. The calumet or sacred pipe represents a column of smoke, the soul, rising from the world's center. A mandala creates a world center within the boundaries of its two-dimensional space, analogous to the center